I think I have a very different question to ask you that's not related with Hajj. Well, we are two
Mhm.
sisters. I still have my mother living. My father has passed away in COVID in December 2020. However,
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi
my
raji'un.
parents, they never had a very peaceful relationship, and it kind of impacted us, me and my sister.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
right now, my question is recently, my mother had been blaming me and my husband. I'm running 37, we have no kids, with,
Mm.
properties and assets we have that has been left by my dear father. Now, I've been in constant battle mentally, and because, I actually found my father's dead body on the streets. Um, well, I actually had my husband as my rock to, support me and help for his funeral rites. Um, I've been in constant battle and seeking divine counseling from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially during my Sikara Salah. Now, I started recently, I've been retaliating with my mother. And my question to you uh, is there any fatwa where, uh, that explains how parents should not abuse their children? And if children have any rights to say something against their parents if they're being abused, because we have, especially in this part of the subcontinent, we grew up with this ideology that our Jannah, the children's Jannah, is basically it's written on the footsteps of their mother. Please enlighten me.
Thank you, Roxana.
Assalamu
I got
alaikum.
your question. Alaikum salam. First of all, in Islam, there are no rights without duties and obligations, whether between the husband and wife or between the parents and the children. And there is a very interesting incident which I shared with the viewers before with regards to Umar al-Khattab when a man complained to him that his father is being rude to his son is being rude to him. So he collected him, and before he would punish him, he asked him, "Why are you being rude and undutiful to your father?" He said, "Is it only the parents who have rights upon their children, or also the children have rights upon their parents?" He said, "Both." He said, "Would you educate me with my rights upon my parents?" He said, "The father should choose a good mother and give him a good name and teach him the deen, teach him the Quran." So, conclusion, he said that my father never gave me enough my rights. Okay. So the incident of Umar ibn Khattab stated that yes, the children do have rights upon the parents. But let's say that the parents, whether truly or in your personal assessment, were not really good parents. Would that justify you being rude or mean to them or undutiful? The answer is no. From the Quran, Sister Rukhsana, what Allah the Almighty says, إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما. Whenever both of them or even one of them reaches an old age, do not offend them. Do not even dare to say off to them because it is offensive to them in this age. They're very sensitive. Rather, you should give them and say to them noble sayings. Even if the parents were non-Muslims and they were struggling to convert their son or daughter from Islam to disbelief, Allah the Almighty says, وإن جاهداك على أن تشرك بما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا. Yeah, you do not obey them if they ask you to do anything which is haram, kufr, or a sin, or disobedience. Sometimes the parents are separated. So the mother says to the daughter, never, ever talk to your dad. And if you talk to your dad, you're not my daughter. Or the father says to his son or daughter, if you dare to speak to your mother or visit your uncle or wherever, of course, do not listen to them. But they're going to boycott me. And that's why you have to be smart. You don't tell them I'm communicating with my mother. or with the other party whom they ask you not to communicate with, but you still fulfill what Allah has commanded you to do. Can you imagine? Allah says, even if they're kuffar and they struggle with you to make you kafir, huh? And hinder you from the path of Allah, صاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا. Fulfill their needs, obey their commands in lawful means. Because by the end, whether you believe it or not, they are your path to heaven. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that Jibreel came to him and said, say Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. And then we said, why? He said, say Ameen because he made a dua that may the one who witnesses his parents or one of them reaching an old age and yet doesn't enter Al Jannah, may he lose, may he be humiliated, may he nose be stuck to dirt. So, yes, Allah said that the parents have very high value. He commanded us right after worshiping Allah alone to be obedient to the parents. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-walidu awsatu abwab al-jannah." The father is the middle gate to heaven. And there are ahadith and indications that Jannah lies beneath the feet of the mother. So if you obey her, you take care of her. Maybe why we as Muslims tend to give da'wah even to non-Muslims. And when it comes to our family members, our parents, and so on, hey, it's not going to change. You never know. Don't you want your mother to enter Jannah as well? By the end, she's the one who bore you for 9 months. She's the one who breastfed you for a couple of years. She's the one who brought you up. And may Allah have mercy on her and have mercy on you and your husband. Assalamu alaikum.